Who wants to count? I forgot how to count.
2, 1.
Good job, Joe.
Yay!
I never miss an opportunity to count things.
It's the day after Black Friday.
Ta-da!
Thank God.
We're gonna call it Orange Sunday because fuck you. That's why.
Orange Sunday. So tomorrow's Cyber Monday.
Sure.
I ran out of money because I went and did Black Friday stuff.
How could you? Don't give in to the capitalist market.
I went, you know what? Okay, so after I ate, I actually did drive down to Target, and I'm like, I'm just gonna see what's going on. And, alright, so our Target's entrance is kind of like off to the side. It's kind of like on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And the line was going all the way along the left side of the building and like all the way back into like the back of it, like it wrapped around the corner, like the left corner of the building to the back. It was a lot of people. They had like gates up and everything.
Of course there's mobs. That's what happens in stores. People are like, oh my god, I don't know why I'm crowded. It's because
Walmarts were not that bad. Target was pretty bad for some reason, because I think Target had been closed all day, and it was opening right then, but I think Walmart had been open all day.
God.
Oh.
So.
Disgusting.
I can only do Black Friday hours after all of the crowds left, and the only thing left are cheap DVDs, because that's the only thing I really want on Black Friday is DVDs for like $3 or $1.
We went,
I'm surprised there's anything even left besides like some crumbs and maybe a dead body.
There was, with ours, there was like, well, let me finish telling my Target story. I went to Target, and I saw, like, towels for $2, and I'm like, I'll pick up a couple towels for my mom, so I did. And then they had their Star Wars toys, buy one, get one 50% off, so I got 2 Star Wars Funkos, and that was all I got at Target. And then I went to Walmart. I went across the street to Walmart, which was not that crowded. I mean, it was pretty crowded, but it wasn't, like, bad or anything. And I got my brother a video game. So I got one Christmas present, done. I'm done with one Christmas present. I still got like 7 more to go. But what else? And then I went home, and then I went to PetSmart in the morning, and that was fun. I got a bunch of stuff for my dog. And then we went to the mall, got more Funkos. And we actually went, me and my boyfriend went to Best Buy because he wanted an iPad really bad. He's like, I'm gonna get an iPad. And so they actually had iPad minis left, and that was what he wanted. So he got an iPad mini from Best Buy. It was like $100 off. So he's like, I'm gonna get it. Well, it's super cheap.
Oh.
And yeah, and then we went to the mall and did all these every store that sold Funko Pops in the mall, like FYE and Hot Topic, had their Funko Pops like super marked down. So he bought a bunch, and then like he bought a bunch, and then he's like, I'm gonna get one, and then when I get another one, 75% off. So you pick out one, and I'll pick out one, and you'll get it 75% off. So I finally got a Loki Pop.
Aww.
And then I got Thomas Sharp from Crimson Peak.
Ooh. Awesome.
And I can't help but make my Thor and Loki ones, like, their faces just touch. Like, that's how they belong.
Yeah, actually.
Forever.
Forever. Oh
and that was yeah. We went to the mall, went to PetSmart, stuff like that. Nothing too bad. I didn't see anything terrible.
My Black Friday wasn't terrible. I mean, I was, it was more just, I work retail. I work, the jewelry store. It was just busy and kind of hectic, and, you get tired after that. So
yeah.
Friday was pretty busy, and Saturday wasn't as busy, but I was just totally I was like wiped out by the end. I was just like, I want to go home and just like inhale a bottle of tequila and just pass out. I'm so tired. I don't want to be around people, so that's what I did. Well.
Yeah, working around people for that long can be mentally exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was really horrible. it was just like everybody at once and stuff like that, and everyone
Yeah.
bought the same stupid thing and asking the same stupid questions, and no one buying actual real jewelry, buying all the costume jewelry pieces.
Yeah, when I went to Target, I guess they had a really good deal on this certain brand of TV, because I saw like 30 people with carts that had this huge TV propped up in it. And I don't know if it was like super marked down or whatever, but like everyone had one of these TVs, and I'm like, at least half these people have a car that TV is not going to fit into.
And that'll be hilarious.
Yeah. That's always part of it. You buy a TV that's too big to fit in your like Honda Accord or whatever. And you're like, shit, how the fuck am I gonna get some?
I got such a great deal on this TV. Let's take it home. Smash.
Oh no.
Ha ha ha. That's what you get for crashing at a Walmart at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't 3 in the morning. It was,
Well, not you. I mean,
Yeah.
people.
Target opened at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
That's disgusting.
Mm.
That's genuinely disgusting. We spend the whole day being grateful for what we have just to go to a store and tackle people just to get, some money off.
Well, I have not, my experiences with Black Friday have been, like, really civil. I've not seen anyone getting tackled or anything like that. Like, everyone
lucky.
there,
I've been lucky
everyone
on
I
that.
interact with there or see there is usually in a pretty good mood. So, I feel like now it's kind of more of a family thing that people go there and like, oh, let's go shop for Christmas gifts. I get it. And I know there are horror stories, but I have not been personally seen anything like that.
I've seen so many great memes against Black Friday, and I've been all over that. Someone actually made a short video, which I wish to God was longer, where, like, they took footage of people waiting outside the door for Black Friday to start, and then, like, them just basically, like, tackling people, pushing people, but it's dubbed over with Richard Attenborough narrating an episode of Planet Earth. It's spectacular, and I wish they could probably make an entire episode of Planet Earth based off all that.
The human race. Have you, working in retail, have you had any horror stories? Like, anything, like, the worst person ever that you've come across?
No one's tackled anybody for a bracelet, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, have you had people, like, be rude to other people or to you or,
Last year we had these two old ladies come in, and, like, I think like before they had I can't remember if they came in before and they bought the bracelets, and they're like, if they don't like them, can we return them? And our store doesn't do return policies, and we told them that, and it's written on the receipt. You can, like, exchange it or get store credit, but we don't return. So they came back on Black Friday and were like, we would like to return these. And we're like, well, we don't do that. And they're like, well, the woman I spoke to, and they were talking about me, the woman I spoke to, said we could return them. And I hadn't said that. No one had said that. And they were giving us all such shit about it. And they were like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do with these now? I can't return them. I don't want store credit. And then at the end, they were just like, shame on you. And pointing, like, shame on you. And left the store. And I had to sincerely apologize in front of all those customers who were watching. And I'm just like, I am so sorry you had to see all that. But everybody was really sweet about it. They were like, no, it's fine. You know, and some people were like, oh, we've been shopping here for years, blah, blah, blah. They were really sweet. And so then, like, I guess they decided to, like, get their panties out of a bunch, because they came back next week and they're like, we'll, take store credit. We're really sorry about what we did, but you guys should have told us that you couldn't return them. Yeah, so basically it's my fault that they can't read the receipt.
It's all your fault.
Oh yeah,
that's always your fault when you're the retail
something you learn
person.
in retail. If something is broken or something can't be done, it is my fault.
Yeah.
There was my coworker was dealing with this woman who was trying on rings, and not real rings. They're all, fake shit. And she's like, this doesn't fit me. Do you have it in a size 6? And she's like, I don't think a size 6 will fit you. And she kept asking for a size 6. And she's like, I don't think a size 6 will fit you. Can this be sized? No. Can you order a size 6? No. Well, it doesn't fit this hand, but it fits the other hand. What do you want to... Okay.
Well, your hands are deformed. What do you want me to do about that?
I think she ended up buying it anyway, but it was just ridiculous. So we haven't had really horrible people. We've just had a lot of stupid people.
Yeah.
We have our bracelets set up and like displayed out so people can see them, and we have to put out signs for people to not remove them because people will take them off, even though we have all of them in the back. So even with the signs, people will still take them off. So we had this one woman who I told her not to take them off. My other coworker told them not to take them off, and my other coworker told her not to take them off. And so after the third time we told her not to stop touching them, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't see the sign." And they're right in your face. They're right there. So it's just more stupid. It's a lot more stupid than like mean or nasty. I guess that's a good thing. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh, now I'm getting all pissed off.
Welcome to the Venting About Retail podcast.
I know! You retail people out there, you guys are the real heroes. The ones who have to work at Walmart with shitty hours, terrible pay, and have to answer dumb questions. You guys rock. Pat yourselves on the back.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never worked retail, but I do work in tourism, so... I mean, that's pretty bad. Tourists kind of suck.
Yeah, probably. I think people just, like, ask without really thinking. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, because, like, some customers will ask these stupid questions, and it's like, you know, if we say no, asking the same question, like, 6 times isn't going to have us change the answer. If we can't do something, you know, we can't do it. It's not that we don't want to. We just really can't order this thing or size it or do this or that. But people just keep asking.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you understand this?
In my experience of asking dumb questions, though, like, most people, I can speak for myself. When I ask a dumb question and I get an answer, I immediately go like, oh wow, that was a pretty dumb question of me to ask. I can assume that most other people do that as well, though. So it's not like they're just stupid. Like, I can have solace in the fact that, like, most people are not that dumb all the time. Like, I may seem like an idiot in, like, this 5 seconds that I'm speaking to this person.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe... some people probably do notice, but they don't, you know, they don't say it out loud. They just, like, they think, oh, wow, that was dumb, but they just keep it to themselves.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, duh.
I feel like some people maybe just are genuinely that dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It really is.
It's probably half and half.
Yeah, I'd say so. What about you, Caitlin? You've had any retail horror stories?
I haven't worked in retail, but I have had some people with the community garden that can sometimes say a few things that aren't... that, you know, they just do things without thinking, and they just assume that I'm going to always be able to, like, come to the garden and figure it out for them. Like, they'll call me and, like, I can't get this lock open. I'm like, did you push it up first and then pull it down? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got it open now, kind of. And I'm like, you could have figured that out yourself. You really could have. It's not that hard. Maybe it's because they're a different generation, but I don't want to make that assumption because a lot of people can still figure things out just because... you know, just because of age or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just think it's them.
It's also just a matter of, like, you know, the customer has to be waited on. The customer is always right. The customer is a spoiled brat.
They really are.
They can be, because it's like I said, if, like, you know, a customer asks for something and we can't get it or we can't, you know, size it or whatever, and they get, like, mad or something, it's like, you know, I know the customer's always right, but no, you're not always right. I had this woman yesterday, I tried to sell her a pendant, and she's like, I could get this so much cheaper on their website and for free shipping. And I'm just thinking...
Well, go do it!
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, well, then go do it. Why are you... And she's like, oh, it's nothing against you or anything. But I'm like, okay, so then go do that.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. And yeah, and she ended up not buying it and left, so I'm like, fine.
Go buy it on Amazon, shit.
Yeah!
People call Parks and Recreation for dumb stuff, too. Like, someone called a few months ago about a grocery bag being stuck in a tree, and she's trying to talk, like, the person that works there is, like, talking to this person. And they're just like, what do you want me to do about like, is it in a park? It's like, no, it's in front of my house, but it's not in a park. No. Let me redirect you to someone else.
Hang up.
Hang up.
My coworker told me about this one customer they had. This was like years before I started working there. I think she was buying some stuff, and then she said, "Could you take it to my car and like park it for me?" It's like, we're a jewelry store. We're not valet. It's like you really think about that kind of question. That's so many layers of stupid.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it's not your job. Second of all, how do you know this person may or may not have their license? Third of all, what if we're held responsible, God forbid, if something happens to the car? Fourth of all, this is a complete stranger that you want in your car? What? It's so many, it's like a 7-layer burrito of dumb. Ay.
So, to nerdy stuff.
Yes, please.
So, I mean, the Civil War trailer came out, and, it's pretty fucking good. I just want to say, though, I had heard that Chris Evans and, Robert Downey were gonna be on Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm like, oh, okay, I should watch that.
Ooh.
Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if they're gonna premiere a trailer? Because I had not heard anything, because I was kind of pissed off, because I'm like, Civil War comes out in less than 6 months or something, and there hasn't been a trailer or anything like that. There hasn't been a trailer or a poster or any footage or anything like that. Like, they better show some gosh dang footage. So I watched it.
Language.
Yeah. And, was really happy. I can't believe that didn't get leaked or anything, though. Like, it's a big trailer to get out there and not have leak.
Well, they were very good and secretive about it.
It's pretty sick. Yeah, Marvel's really good at that.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, though. Can't wait for the movie. I already couldn't wait for the movie, but,
I don't know.
I really can't wait.
I remember in, like, one podcast where, Greer, you were talking about, the Batman, Superman movie, and you're like, I don't want them fighting. I want them working together. I kind of like that with this. I don't want them fighting. Can't we
I
all...
don't either.
I was actually thinking about that. Well, the main reason for that one is because I want finally a good Justice League movie. Like, we've already had two good Avengers movies, and I'm fine with that. I finally want a good Justice League movie, and that's all I want. I don't even give a shit about DC, and I want a good Justice League movie.
You just want to see shit given up.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I'm really, this is again why I'm just not interested in Batman vs. Superman, because I feel like I'm going to have a way better or a way stronger emotional connection to Civil War than I would with Batman vs. Superman. With Civil War, you have these two characters that are, like, really good friends, and have, in the comics, they have known each other for decades, and they're fighting over their two opposing views. And that's how it is. In Batman vs. Superman, it's like, we're going to tell you about this one time where there was this super big misunderstanding between Batman and Superman. And that's really it. It was a misunderstanding.
You make it sound like a romantic comedy. There was a big misunderstanding.
It really is. It's a romantic comedy plotline that they're putting into a fucking gritty-ass Superman movie. And,
God.
I don't know. I feel like that's why... So I think Civil War will do better among fans and financially than Batman vs. Superman will. I think a lot of people will see Batman vs. Superman, but I think Civil War is gonna beat it out with the box office tickets.
Beat it off. Beat it out.
Beat it off. Beat it out.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, we still haven't seen a lot from Civil War. Like, we haven't seen any... Like, Spider-Man is gonna be in Civil War, and we haven't seen any Spider-Man. I'm actually surprised that they showed Black Panther at all in that trailer.
Yeah, he was in there for like a split second. I didn't know Spider-Man was gonna be in this. That's cool.
Yeah, Spider-Man's supposed to be in there somewhere, but there's nothing of that yet. Hopefully there will be.
I'm getting the feeling it'll be a really small role, and maybe that's why I saw the trailer. I'm speaking as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, so I could be completely wrong by the time the movie comes out.
I mean,
Which I hope he's in it enough.
And then, I mean, after Civil War, next year is Civil War and Doctor Strange. So that's next year.
I'm kind of excited about Doctor Strange. I don't even know why. I don't know anything about the story. I just feel like it looks like good casting because...
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a really good cast.
Yeah. Should be cool.
We got Doctor Strange, and then, I mean, after Doctor Strange, we don't get another one till, Guardians 2. Which is...
Well, I don't really care.
Yeah. Actually, after 2016, starting in 2017, it's going to be 3 main Marvel Studio films a year instead of just 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're really gonna... I guess a lot of different people working on all this, so they can get them out pretty quick.
I'm excited about that because a lot of good movies are coming out in 2017.
Yeah. Besides Thor, and besides the new Spider-Man, and Guardians 2.
Maybe that's 2018. I know Black Panther and Captain Marvel are coming out in a couple of years, and I'm excited about those.
Captain Marvel is 2019, I believe, and Black Panther is 2018.
Oh, okay. I'm way off.
Captain Marvel, I think, is going to be right before... It's going to be in between the 2 Infinity War movies. And then I believe the Ant-Man and Wasp, like the Ant-Man sequel, is going to be in there as well, like right in between the 2 Infinity War movies. So
I have no idea.
Should be pretty sick.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, the only... I'm excited about those, don't get me wrong, but really, the only thing I'm looking forward for 2006 is Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
I can't wait! I'm so...
Green Lantern 2?
Yeah!
No.
Making a sequel?
Zoolander, not Green Lantern.
Oh! I was really confused.
God, if there was another Green Lantern movie, oh my god.
Well, that would be a reboot.
Fucking kill me.
Yeah, they'd want to reboot it with somebody new if they do that.
They'd want to reboot it with a completely different fucking movie and cast. And
Yes.
Because holy shit. Green Lantern is fucking terrible.
I thought, I barely remember it, really. I don't know.
I've never watched it. But I like Ryan Reynolds, and so I feel I'm not going to hold that against him, because he looks great as Deadpool, and I'm excited about that movie.
Yeah.
That's coming out.
I think next year.
Next year, I believe, yeah.
Cool. Well, then there's that, too.
Yeah, I was talking about, like main Marvel Studio movies, because Deadpool is being made by, Fox, I want to say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not Marvel Studios.
Okay. Well, it still looks funny.
Yeah.
Everyone's really psyched about it.
So yeah, next year technically it is 3 Marvel ones, but only 2 from Marvel Studios. Yeah, I have the list right here. I found it on subreddit. You got Civil War and Doctor Strange next year, Guardians 2, and an untitled Spider-Man film, and Thor Ragnarok, or 2017.
Untitled Spider-Man movie, so we're just gonna assume it's called Spider-Man Gone Wild.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna call it, because it's another line of Spider-Man movies that's gonna be separate from the other 2. So it's getting too confusing for me. But I mean, this Spider-Man one might actually be like the Spider-Man movie line to end all Spider-Man movie lines, because this is actually being worked on directly from Marvel and not from Sony. And 2018 is Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War Part 1, and the Ant-Man sequel, which I believe is just called Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then 2019 is Captain Marvel, Infinity War 2, and Inhumans, the Inhumans movie. So it's gonna be pretty good. And then we got, Deadpool in there somewhere as well. And
Well, you said next year.
Next year, yeah. Sometime next year, I think. I want to say It is summer of next year.
Want
I
to
am
look it
looking
up?
right now. February of next.
Okay.
Oh, that's closer than I thought.
That's what
February.
2's coming out. Cool. February's
February
gonna be
12th.
fun
I
this
might have it
year.
on my movies on Fandango as well. Speaking of movies, I saw The Good Dinosaur the other day. New Pixar film, Good
Oh.
Dinosaur. It was really good. I mean, it's Pixar, so it's gonna be really good. It's not my favorite Pixar movie, but you know what? Still pretty good.
I haven't really heard anything about it. If
cried a
anything,
lot.
I've just more gifs of it
Yeah,
on the Facebook chat
I cried
thing
a lot.
than actual trailers.
I cried a couple times. It's pretty
Aw.
tear-worthy. So
I haven't seen it. I heard it's good, but I've heard a few complaints, which there's always gonna be complaints saying it's not as good as the other Pixar movies. So some people were disappointed, but that was only like a small amount of
Well, I mean,
people.
when you have movies that
You can't please them.
made like Incredibles and Up, it's like people are always gonna hold it to that standard at all times. So even when it's like good, you know, like The Good Dinosaur was pretty good. I mean, it's not the standard of Incredibles and Up and Finding Nemo. So people are automatically gonna say like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like bad, but even though it's not actually a bad movie. It's just not as good as those other movies, because
Yeah,
those
that's
other
the
movies are fucking amazing, so...
That's the problem when you have such high standards, when you keep making good movie after good
Pixar,
movie.
stop
Everything
making
else
good
is, yeah,
movies.
like you said, help.
Make more Cars
How
movies!
dare you provide quality?
Ugh.
No,
Don't even joke about that.
don't go that far.
Yeah,
My
Good
goodness.
Dinosaur was, it was really good. I like, there are a lot of reviews saying that it was, the best word to describe it is the word that I've seen in a bunch of reviews for it, and it's subtle. It's a very subtle movie. There's not a ton of dialogue, which is what I predicted from watching the trailer, because there wasn't a lot of dialogue in the trailers either.
A subtle. How often does that happen? A subtle
I mean,
kids
it wasn't
movie?
like there were scenes with a lot of dialogue in it, but in between those scenes were scenes where it was just like visuals and lots of scenery. Pixar has, one thing I noticed right off the bat is that they have really upped their like scenery and visual game, and they've always been good at that stuff. Like Finding
Cool.
Nemo just looks great all the time, but legitimately, when I saw Good Dinosaur, the backgrounds, like if you go see the movie and look at the backgrounds, and they look like photographs. It looks so good. And it's like these sweeping shots of like these mountains, and it's just really beautiful. And I almost wish I had seen it in 3D, to be honest with you. I think that would have been really cool. Yeah.
Well, there's always next time.
I'd like to see it in 3D at some point, I don't know. But,
There's always next time in The Good Dinosaur
better-
2,
the
the
better
Greater
dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Or The Good Dinosaur. The Gooder.
but it was a very subtle kids movie. Again, there were parts that made me cry super hard. Like there was this one part kind of near the middle of the movie, and when you see the movie, you're gonna know what part I'm talking about. It's like right near the middle, and made me cry really, really hard. Yeah, it had a lot of there were two things I noticed about it with the way it was. One is that I didn't expect it to be like kind of like a Western theme, and by that I mean like there's
Holy shit, does that mean he rides on dinosaurs with like pistols and a cowboy hat?
no, there's nothing like that. But by that
That
I mean
would be
like
amazing.
by that I mean like the other dinosaurs that talk have like a Texan accent or like a Southern accent. They kind of speak in that manner a little bit.
So it's like John Wayne dinosaur.
Yeah, and like there are T-Rexes in that movie that like herd buffalo looking things.
That's awesome.
There's like this kind of like old like kind of like a Western feel to it, which I did not know that was going to be in there, but I kind of liked it. Like, I didn't mind it at all. It wasn't, like, annoying or dumb or anything like that. And, like, even, the main dinosaur is Arlo, and his family, like, he has, like, a family of brontosauruses, and they have a field that they, like, grow crops from. And it's kind of just...
dinosaurs grow crops?
Yeah, and it's kind of, like, out in the middle of nowhere, and, like,
Okay.
I kind of expected it to be, like, more of a traditional dinosaur movie, like Land Before Time, or like Dinosaur, or something like that. But it with those little things like that, it kind of differentiated itself from those traditional, oh, this is just another dinosaur kind of movies. Because they did dinosaur stuff, but there was just other stuff in there that, you know, again, with like the herding and like there were crops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It was kind of, I liked it. I didn't mind it, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture it. So, yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like an alternate universe
They're
kind of thing.
They're not anthropomorphic or anything like that either. Like, they don't stand on two feet. It's not Zootopia, is what I'm saying. Which, that movie looks funny. I want to see Zootopia really badly, actually, after they released the trailer about the sloth.
Oh, I saw that trailer yesterday because I went to see Peanuts yesterday, and it looked pretty good.
Oh, we'll talk about Peanuts in a second. I briefly talked about Peanuts last week because I saw it as well. But,
I haven't seen it yet.
I also wanted to say that in Good Dinosaur, there were a lot of Lion King moments.
Ha.
And when you see the movie, you will know what I'm talking about.
Please tell me they did the Circle of Life.
No, but there are some Lion King moments in there, specifically like a Mufasa moment, and then there were like some characters that reminded me of like the hyenas in the Lion King a little bit.
Wow.
And again, like the scenery reminded me a lot of like the African Sahara. I don't know where exactly geographically this
yes.
movie was set. It didn't look like Africa that much, but still, like the sweeping shots of like fields and stuff like that was very Lion King.
Okay. Did they have a trailer for I think it's called The Secret Life of Dogs or Pets or
Life
something?
of Pets, yeah.
I got that too.
How does that look? Because I think I want to see that.
Well, that's the only trailer that they have for it, so honestly, I have no idea. Every animated movie I've seen for, like, the past year has had that trailer, and it's the only trailer they have for it, so I honestly don't know.
Wow.
I mean, I'll probably see it. I'll keep up with it, because the trailer is funny.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting concept. I kind of want to check it out. So, how is the Peanuts movie?
Did I talk about the Peanuts movie really at all?
I think you briefly mentioned it last time.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked the Peanuts movie a lot.
Well, good.
I liked it too. I thought it was really enjoyable. What's funny is, I was one of the first people to go into the theater, and I thought there'd already be some kids there, but it was just like an adult couple. And then I sit down and I see an older adult couple come in, and they just see me and the other adults, and they're like, "Oh, thank God!" Like they're worried they'd be the only alone adults in the Peanuts movie. And then finally the kids started showing up, and I was like, "This is actually pretty good. I'm not the only adult here that doesn't have children with them," which I would have seen it anyways. And I was worried about that, but I really enjoyed it. I liked the references to the other cartoons and the specials and the comic strips, which I probably missed a few references, but I got most of them.
I had heard that, like, this was a different kind of movie because it wasn't like the newer reboots of kids' movies where it was all just, like, snarky and pop culture references.
I think I said in the last one that, like, the most modern thing that they do in that movie is, like, take a standardized test. Like, that's the most modern thing I saw in that movie that like, stuck out to me at all. Like, there weren't... I didn't see a single like cell phone in that movie at all.
That's awful.
It could happen. This movie could be taking place at like any time, which I kind of really
Yeah,
liked.
it's really timeless. I think Peanuts has kind of always been like that, though.
For the most part, except for like, those random specials that like, I think it's called "It's the Flash Beagle Charlie Brown" or something, where it was very obviously like set in the 80s because they're doing a bunch of like Flash dance references.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the specials are timeless.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I saw a couple critics that were like, I don't think most kids would be into it because again, it's not fucking Minions or anything. It's another kids movie that's really like subtle. Nothing big and it happens or anything like that. Like it's not super exciting, but that's the way the Peanuts have always been. So
Yeah, if anything, they've been really depressing.
the most exciting things that happen in that movie are like the Red Baron stuff.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie, like, it's peppered with, like, these, Flying Ace Red Baron scenes, where, like, that's kind of like a separate plot line of Snoopy writing a Red Baron story. So it's like every, like, scene or two is a Red Baron thing.
That's cute.
But the rest of it is Charlie Brown just fucking up stuff. Which, you can't have a Peanuts movie without Charlie Brown just fucking up everything.
Exactly.
Another thing I liked about it is that a lot of specials, it's like Charlie Brown is a lovable loser and he fucks stuff up, but I feel like they took this and they didn't make it too mean towards Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Whereas some specials, they go out of the way to just have terrible things happen to him.
Yeah.
I know, they were always so depressing and so just, like, down and just, like, ugh.
I don't like Charlie Brown Halloween, actually, just because that whole scene where they just give him a bunch of rocks, like, pisses me off every time I watch it.
Aw.
I get angry. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this, adults? And I take it too seriously. And so every time I watch it every year anyways, and I just get angry. I'm like, this is stupid, and then I watch it with my family. If I'm
Maybe
home.
it'll be different this year. No.
It's the same every year. Why?
Aw.
Can I just, I need to point out another thing that I saw this trailer.
Oh, wait.
I saw this trailer for this movie when I saw Peanuts and when I saw Good Dinosaur. And
Well, wait, can I ask just one Peanuts question
Yes.
first? Did they still do the wop, 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 wop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
I need to point this out because me and my boyfriend were so blown away by how awful this looked. Like, right off the bat, we could tell something was wrong. There's a trailer that we saw for both during Peanuts and during Good Dinosaur. Caitlin, I don't know if you remember this trailer from when you saw Peanuts, but it's called Norm of the North.
Oh, I did see that.
It is
It
about...
looked very good.
I don't even know what the fuck. You need to look up the trailer for this movie, like, later. Because it's an animated movie. First off, Rob Schneider is voicing the main character in the movie, and that's already, like, a no-go.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
I didn't realize that was Rob Schneider.
The second thing about this movie is that it visually looks fucking awful. Like,
Oh my.
the lip syncing for an animated movie made in 2015, coming out in 2016, the lip syncing on a computer animated movie in 2016 should not be that terrible. I don't know who the fuck let this movie, like, watch this movie and said, yeah, we can show that to people.
Oh my god.
The lip
That's
syncing
really
is
funny.
so off. Like, it's off by, like, not by much, but you can tell. Like, you can see it. I don't know if it's because I've watched so many bad animated movies, but I turned and looked at him and I'm like, does this movie look, like, off to you? And he's like, yeah, it does, actually. Because I saw this trailer twice. Because I saw it during Peanuts and we noticed this, like, right off. We were like, something looks wrong with this movie. And it is the lip syncing. And the animation, by the way. It looks fucking awful. It's from a film. I looked this up just now because I remembered. I'm like, I need to know who's making this, because I need to know what else they've done. Because it's being distributed by Lionsgate, but we saw a thing in the corner once it was over, and I'm like, I've never heard of the animation company before. Here is what they have done. They, first off, this company is responsible for making, like, every single Bratz movie.
No.
And the TV series. So that's already, like, yep.
Another red flag. I'm on their IMDb page right now. It's coming out in January. For those who don't know, in the industry, when Hollywood makes movies, that I don't know who decides this, but whenever a movie is released in January, that's usually, I think January and August are the months where people who make movies that are gonna suck release them then. Because I guess that's when people are not going to the movies that much. This is coming out January 15th, so right in the middle of garbage month. Yeah. That's another bad sign right there.
They also, I just looked this up and I'm like, oh my god, I remember this TV show. Because they used to be under a different name. So that's why, I'm looking up, by the way, like their 3D animated stuff, because apparently they were also involved in the Clifford the Big Red Dog TV series, but that was a 2D animated show. So I'm not going to count that. But they also made this show that I used to watch on Nickelodeon a lot, and it's really super obscure, but I remember it so vividly for some reason. And I'm probably the only person who remembers this show, but it's called Butt Ugly Martians.
I remember that!
Do you remember that show?
I remember it, I just didn't watch it because I didn't like the trailers for it.
The same people who were making this terrible polar bear movie made that show.
We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. Been stuck in my head since the mid-90s.
I know, right?
I remember the song.
I do too. But anyway, so look up the trailer for that movie later, because it's fucking awful.
I will. That's wow.
I forgot about the trailer until you brought it up, because I was remembering all the other trailers I saw, because they were actually really good trailers. Other than the road trip and that one, all the trailers were good, and so I just completely forgot about that one.
But yeah, so that's a terrible movie that's coming out, and I'm not gonna see it, and it's probably gonna bomb. You know what else I noticed? What I found out? Do you know when does anyone know when they're making another Alvin and the Chipmunks movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know when it comes out?
Hopefully
same weekend as Star Wars?
It's the same exact day as Star Wars.
So
smart.
I don't know if it's because it's like, oh, maybe there are kids who want to go to the theater the same day as Star Wars and they can't see Star Wars.
SMRT.
Or if they're just really ballsy to release a movie the same day as fucking Star Wars.
I think that. Because no kid is not... every kid's gonna go and see Star Wars.
There were so many people at Black Friday shopping for Star Wars shit for their kids.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna go see Star Wars.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go see Alvin and the Chipmunks on December 18th.
Yeah.
I can understand if, like, they're really little kids that don't want to see Star Wars, but even then, they're not going to go opening day to see it on the same weekend as Star Wars still.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Ay.
I just found that, like, really baffling once I saw the trailer. By the way, it looks awful.
I'm just upset about all the general because, like, I used to love the cartoon. I used to love the movie, like the animated movie where they go around the world. And, like, the fact that they made a remake hurt me so much, and that they keep making more of them just hurts even more. And so
I've seen every single one of them.
I'm pretty sure you're right, where they're presumptuous and think, oh, people are going to want to see our shit. Because our shit don't stink, even though it does, and they should be
Can I go back and ask Caitlin why? Have you seen all of them?
Oh, okay, I have an excuse. My little sister was young enough where they were doing free movies, and the first one was playing, and so I ended up seeing, as if we all in the family, we saw it, and it wasn't very good, but I was like, oh, well, it wasn't the worst kids movie I've seen in theaters.
Yeah.
And then I ended up seeing the second one in theaters too. Then the third one came out around Christmas, and my sister wanted to go see it still, and as my Christmas present to her, I took her to see it. What was great is that there was no one else in the theater because no one wanted to see it.
Can you
And I
like
was actually
lock
really
your
happy.
little sister in like the basement or something and show her some
Yeah.
movies? Like
I-
this is what a movie looks like.
Yes, please. She needs to be re-educated. Please.
She likes good movies too.
Okay, good.
She likes, I think now that she's a little older, she realizes that it's bad, but I feel like she's now at the point where she would watch it just because she knows how bad it is now, rather than genuinely
Aw,
like
Good
it.
girl. Good girl.
She's
Ugh.
become more aware.
Yeah.
Good. You saved her before it was too late.
Yeah.
We're also dragging her to see Star Wars that weekend instead of the fourth Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
Yeah.
How
Is
often
it the
do you hear
fourth one
that
or
phrase?
the fifth one?
Wait, how often do you hear that phrase? You're being dragged to see Star Wars.
It's
I don't-
because she's never seen any of the other ones because she's like, I don't want to watch them,
Why
kind
the fuck
of.
not?
I think it's because she feels like we're pressuring her, and so out of rebellion, she doesn't want to watch it out of principle. But she's more, I think she's kind of like into seeing this one, though.
Yeah. Me and my boyfriend have been watching all the Star Wars movies again. Watched
Yay.
Phantom Menace. Wasn't as bad as I remember. Pretty good.
Ha.
This is why I say this, because the popular thing is to say that the Phantom Menace is the worst prequel. Attack of the Clones is by far the worst prequel. And if you don't believe me, go and watch Attack of the Clones again.
I kind of don't want to.
We finished watching Attack of the Clones the other night, and both of us were just like, I never want to watch that movie again. I fell asleep in the last 30 minutes. I fell the fuck asleep. I'm like, I don't usually fall asleep during Star Wars movies. I fell asleep during Attack of the Clones, and it was right during, like, when the last action scenes were starting, and I'm like, that's how you know your action scenes are fucking boring and repetitive, is when people just fall asleep during them. I'm like, Lucas, stop. You know? I had no idea what was going on the whole movie. Well, I had that problem with Phantom Menace, too, because Lucas, I think, just assumed for Phantom Menace that you just knew what was happening. And we're like, no one knows what's happening. And Attack of the Clones had the same problem. It's that they didn't explain anything. They didn't have that one character. You know how movies will have that one character that's like the fish out of water that doesn't know what's going on, and so that prompts another character to explain to that character what's going on, therefore explaining the plot to the audience who also doesn't know what's going on?
I guess.
Attack of the Clones didn't have that character.
That's kind of a problem.
Attack of the Clones had none of that, so I had no idea what was going on in Attack of the Clones whatsoever, and it was boring, and it kind of sucked. Yeah, Attack of the Clones is the worst prequel.
I don't remember any of them, so I can't really speak for that. I just remember thinking they were okay, but then again, I saw them in theaters at the time, so I was like, what, 12?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I actually can't wait to watch Revenge of the Sith, because I remember Revenge of the Sith being really good, so...
That was a good movie. I mean,
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith's alright. I like it.
I liked it. I haven't seen any of the prequels for, like, a really long time. I think the last time I watched Revenge of the Sith was probably, like, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I should rewatch that one. But I remember liking it, because I saw it at midnight, like, in the 8th grade with my dad. And so it was, like, a really
Aw.
nice moment. But,
Yeah. Actually, right before Revenge of the Sith came out, was right around when I was getting into Star Wars. When I was, like, preteen. And it was when they were airing the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series.
Oh, yeah.
And it was that was a great series.
That's what I heard. I never got into it. I don't know.
I should have watched it. I just never got it.
I don't remember it being very long. I can look that up, though. But if you like Samurai Jack, you'd really like his Clone Wars series. I guess 2000. No, that's the new one. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Yeah, I've seen that it's out. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
Thousands of years ago.
The 2003 series. It's a 3-year gap between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and it's pretty sick. I like it a lot. Despite there being a lot of prequel stuff in it, like Anakin, it's still pretty good. How long is it?
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm gonna look up how long it is. I don't remember it being very long. Yeah, season 1 is not very long at all. Because season 1 is 10 episodes, but they were all like 3 minutes long. Because I remember they would kind of show them in between shows on Cartoon Network.
Huh.
Is Gendy Tartakovsky still doing stuff? Because he's awesome.
I don't know.
I hope he is. He was always really cool.
He did Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he's doing the sequel as well, I believe. Let me
I
never double check that.
Did you guys see the sequel?
I haven't seen either of them yet.
I haven't seen either of them either.
I saw the first one. It's cute. You know, it's got a lot of his, usual quirks and stuff. It's good for what it is.
Yeah. He did Symbionic Titan a few years ago. I don't know if anyone watched that.
I don't know what that is.
I have not heard
It was
of
a
that.
show on a pretty short-lived on Cartoon Network. They aired it on Toonami for a while. It was pretty good. My brother really liked it. He was I didn't know this. He was the animation director or an animation director on the Steven Universe pilot.
Cool.
Ooh.
Which now that I remember the Steven Universe pilot, I can totally see that. And it's not, Caitlin, the pilot is not the first episode of the series. It's like a completely different thing. It's animated completely differently, and it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I've watched that before.
Yeah. And now that I remember it, I'm like, yeah, it does look like Tartakovsky a little bit. But yeah, he did Hotel Transylvania too. That's his most recent thing.
Cool.
So yeah, he still makes stuff.
Good for him. I wish him luck. I used to be so obsessed with his work, like Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls. Those were my world for a while.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
No,
Oh,
Powerpuff Girls was Craig McCracken.
Well, he did some of the animation. He helped though, I think, right?
He was an animation director on the movie, I think. Let me
I
look
thought
that, let me look that up.
I think I remember seeing his name in credits in some episodes.
He was a supervising producer and a director and a writer on Powerpuff.
Oh, he kind of helped.
Yeah. I just remember Samurai Jack super well.
Yeah.
I really loved Samurai Jack when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
I
need to watch
never-
Samurai Jack. I'm really behind. I've never watched it.
It's really good.
Yeah, like I said, I got through the first, maybe the first half of the first season, or maybe the whole first season, but I never finished it either.
Samurai Jack is because again, we were talking about subtle kids things. It is the subtle TV kids show, and it's not even a kids show really. It's just an animated show.
Yeah, it's not a kids show, but that's not to say it's horrible and kids shouldn't see it. It's just,
It's for everyone.
yeah, it's not the first thing you think about to show your kids. I don't know. It's good. It's all good.
It was heavily inspired by stuff like anime and samurai films from the 70s, and I think he even listed some Frank Miller stuff, him being inspired by that. It's just really aesthetically and visually pleasing.
Yeah, and of course Phil Lamar just being awesome.
Yeah.
And so was Mako was Aku, right?
Yeah, Mako. Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Everybody loved Aku. He's just this big dinosaur looking not dinosaur. You can't even really describe what he looks like. This big flaming dragon thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Words.
Alright, I think we've talked about everything. Maybe not everything, but
Everything and anything that ever was.
Yep. I mean, all that happened this week to me was Captain America. I don't know about you guys, but nothing else happened to me this week except that. That was the only thing that mattered to me this week.
Yeah,
What else would be matter this week? Just Captain America.
Yay! Captain Mark. Yeah, getting through Black Friday, so yay!
Alright, well we're gonna go now. We're gonna awkwardly walk out this door.
First, no, we are, but first I want to say, go watch the Norm of the North trailer, and then go watch Civil War trailer so you'll feel better.
Yeah. Go watch the terrible children's movie trailer, and then go watch Civil War trailer again, because I know you've probably already seen it.
And watch Road Trip trailer, just because.
What's that?
Oh no, that's the Road Chip. It's the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. It has a pun.
It's called the Road Chip.
Get it?
Yeah.
Because instead of trip, it's because they're chipmunks.
I'm gonna throw out my breakfast now.
Yeah. And then they did a chipmunk version of Uptown Funk. But it's called Uptown Monk.
Uptown Chunk.
Uptown Monk. Like chipmunk.
I know. You don't have to explain it. Jesus.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Okay, I do have something else to say. I didn't notice how bad the Norm of the North trailer was because they had played the same behind the scenes of Alvin the Chipmunks before that, and I was really disgusted. Not disgusted, it's a strong word, but I was really annoyed.
Yeah.
Because they were like, Jason Lee was talking about it. Not Jason Lee. I can't think of his name. And he's just talking about, all these special things behind the movie, and all these people are talking about how all this work behind the movie, and I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, I know you guys are just doing this movie to make money.
Yeah.
I am not buying into this. I'm not saying you're not putting work into it, but you're doing this just to make money.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. It's no creativity behind it at all.
He signed that contract and didn't see in the fine print that's like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do 7 of these.
He'll be fine.
I like him. That movie looks terrible, and it will be terrible.
Probably will.
All of them are bad.
Yeah. Ay.
Well, we'll see y'all next week. I'm very tired. I'm probably gonna go take a nap. I want someone to put together every time I've ended a podcast with, I'm gonna go take a nap. I feel like I say that a lot.
You probably do.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lazy Sunday,
Yeah.
I'm doing jack shit today anyway, so.
I'm going to
take
eat
a nap.
and I'm going to clean.
Yay. Someone's being productive. Yay.
I say it. I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I should.
It's the thought that counts.
Someone's being productive and it won't be me.
Or me. Well, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.